Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Brian if you happen to be new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And thanks so much for being here. You're freaking fantastic. And that's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments at the start of these videos. Now, before we dive into patch 1.7.1, give you guys the rundown of the features, the fixes, the bugs, all that's being addressed right now. I want to say that November the 2nd, tomorrow, we're going to be live streaming. We are part of the Bald and the Beautiful team. My friend Chris is going to be handling the Twitch, which will have exclusive drops for you. So the link is in the description. Go give it a follow. I'm going to be hanging out with him as well. We've got some content planned for you guys, but you can also follow over on YouTube. So if you want to watch on YouTube, check out Ginger Prime. That's also linked in the description. If you want to go follow over on Twitch, in fact, if you could watch us on both, that's even better. But that plug aside, let's go ahead and focus in on 1.7.1. Downtime is basically tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So for us Central Time folks, us Tech Centrals, that's going to be 1 a.m. on November 2nd. So do your time adjustments accordingly, but that is what's rolling out. In terms of notable fixes, Castrum Principum spawn rate has been adjusted to better match the other elite mobs. They fixed an issue that made Halvin the Navigator in Monarch's Bluffs unbeatable. They also fixed an issue that caused players to get stuck at weird angles, which honestly, I'd love to have seen what these weird angles would have been stuck as when they opened the inventory while going prone. For Brimstone Sands specific, Tomash and Gazi now have additional dialogue to inform players that they need to complete a Selfish Nature quest to access the Brimstone Sands main story. They updated the quest requirements for a Selfish Nature to ensure that players are not blocked from the Blessings of the Earth quest. They removed the ability to place camps around the Brimstone Under Siege quest location. They reduced also the amount of Ironhide received when skinning Valley Lizards. They also fixed an issue with Demon's Cauldron that caused players to get teleported back from the crystal. They also fixed an issue that caused the damage barrier around Brimstone Sands to continue after death, which honestly, pretty freaking hilarious, but probably very frustrating nevertheless. They fixed an issue that caused Brimstone Sands Outpost trading post to actually not link to the storage, and they re-enabled the Queen's Brood quest line. Now for the quests themselves, they fixed an issue that made Faction Rank Up quest unavailable. They fixed an issue that prevented players from completing the Overseer Zane encounter. The Hope Manifest Executioner, Tracking the Huntress, Felma's Wrath, and Keen Temper quests now immediately register as complete when the player crafts the specific weapons. They fixed an issue that caused the Heartforge Guardian to not spawn in the Trial of the Heartforge quest, and they re-enabled the Roar of the Manticore quest. Now for the expeditions, only one change here. For Dynasty Shipyard, they raised the keg health to make defending objects less difficult to pass in high-level mutation runs. For combat and AI changes, notable fixes, they fixed an issue that sometimes caused players to be unable to attack after harvesting until they perform the same gathering action or relogged. They fixed an issue where certain abilities couldn't be performed without triggering their cooldowns, and they fixed an issue that sometimes caused young scorpions to fall through the world. Again, visibly, I would have loved to have seen that one. For perks, they fixed an issue that caused the Runeglass Gem perk to prevent lifestat perks from working. Thank you very much. And they also added a speculative fix for Runeglass taunt gems not working properly with Berserk, Riposte, and Defender's Resolve AoE taunts. They're going to continue to monitor the forums to see if players are still encountering this issue after the update. For the different game modes for PvP arenas, they fixed an issue that caused some players to incorrectly receive a lever penalty, as my voice fails me for some reason, when exiting 3v3 arenas. For Wars and Invasions, they fixed an issue that caused Wars and Invasions to sometimes fail to reschedule properly after a server crash. For the economy, they added Infused Gypsum Greatsword Cast, and this is good because if you guys don't know what this means, you can use your Gypsum Orbs to get a Gypsum cast for the Greatsword. Infused is a part of the materials as you salvage and get those perfect salvages. You can actually purchase those off the markets. Basically, this gives you 2 guaranteed boosts a day if you choose to go in that direction. So anyway, they also re-enabled Legendary Greatswords of Rough Edge recipe to better match similar crafted greatswords. It is now bind on pickup instead of bind on equip. I'm going to always say this. I do not enjoy bind on pickup at all. I think bind on pickup should be exceptionally rare. I'm fine with bind on equip, but that is my personal take. In fact, I talk about player-driven economies over on Ginger Prime today. I'm going to plug that. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's up. I hope you enjoyed. I've got some more MMO discussion videos getting ready to roll out over there over the coming weeks. Anyhow, for things they've also re-enabled, Legendary Greatswords Craftsman Passions Recipe. The final perk is now Earth's Bane. And they also fixed an issue that caused Brimstone Elite named enemies to not actually drop Gypsum or Obsidian Gypsum. So that has been resolved. For various rewards and loot, Apotheosis Treasure Trove is now a reward for a God Awakens quest. Apotheosis no longer gives weapon mastery or experience on kill. For the Desert Rose Prismum Bloom, it now always grants 1 to 2 cyan pigments or 1 to 2 green pigments. Players also have the chance to receive 1 to 2 red pigments as well. For trade skills, the Detonate Heart Gem recipes no longer require sapphire, but instead they require more sulfur. So we'll probably see sulfur higher in demand. For the Night Veil Gear Score 600 patterns no longer require trade skill level of 150, and they fixed an issue that made the Night Veil patterns bind on pickup instead of bind on equip. So these are going from bind on pickup to bind on equip, which makes me very happy, very clearly in that regards. For gathering, they reduced the quantity of sulfur received from mining sulfur wig and Terrigen. They reduced the amount of skinning experience gained from young scorpions and armadillos. For the UI and UX notable fixes, they fixed an issue that caused the same item to show up multiple times in the Outpost Rush cash reward screen. They fixed an issue that prevented latent characters from rejoining their original world if they were at the character limit for that world. Latent characters can now return to their original worlds if those worlds are locked, even if those worlds are locked. For the social menu, and what I read this as, this sounds like essentially if you were inactive, they said that after a certain date, then you can kind of pick your world. But if you were trying to get back on, let's say Orofino, where we play, maybe that would have prevented you from joining us. Now it sounds like, being that every kind of the population's kind of settled down a little bit, you can actually jump in on that. For social changes, updated the faction user interface that now directs players to the faction initiation quest line to unlock faction switching. For the in-game store, they fixed an issue that caused item purchase confirmations to not appear. And finally, for the quality of life, they fixed an issue that caused notifications to appear more than once on the landing screen. And those are the notes, and that is patch 1.7.1, again rolling out if you're watching this in real time tonight, aka bright and early in the morning here in Texas, as my fan decides to make some noise for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't really have too much to add other than what I've kind of shared. Again, hopefully you join in tomorrow for the fun, for the rewards, and for the community aspect of it. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. I'm taking tomorrow off work. It should hopefully be a fun event all around. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sound off in the comments. Hit us up on Discord if you're looking for people to hang out and play with. We're a pretty chill, relaxed community who just likes to talk about video games. So hopefully you check that out as well. But outside of that, guys, I wish you all the best. Thanks so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. But until then, take care.